In the year 1845, a chilling event took place in this grand old mansion. Our tale begins with a man named William Hastings, a wealthy businessman who had it all: power, wealth, and a loving family. His grand mansion was a testament to his success, his towering pride. Located on a secluded hill, it was a sight to behold, an envy of the town. But one fateful night, everything changed. William was found lifeless in his study, his face frozen in an expression of sheer terror. The cause of his death remained a mystery. Some said it was a heart attack, while others whispered about foul play. But what was even more puzzling was the disappearance of his wife and children. They vanished without a trace, as if swallowed by the mansion itself. The local authorities launched an extensive search, but it was all in vain. The only clue they found was a cryptic note locked away in William's safe. It read, "Beware the sins of the past." The meaning of this ominous warning was never unraveled. As the days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, the mansion stood silent and deserted. The once vibrant halls were now filled with a chilling emptiness. The grandeur of the mansion, once a symbol of prosperity and joy, was replaced by an eerie sense of dread. The townsfolk began to avoid the mansion, whispering tales of ghosts and curses. The mansion, they said, was haunted. Time passed, and the mansion's dark past became nothing more than a local legend, a chilling bedtime story for the children. The grand old mansion stood abandoned, untouched by time. Its once magnificent structure was now a mere shadow of its former self, a quiet reminder of the long-forgotten tragedy. The mansion, once a symbol of prosperity and joy, now stood as a quiet reminder of a long-forgotten tragedy. Fast forward to the present day, a hopeful family steps over the threshold of the mansion, oblivious to its dark past. Meet the Johnsons, a vibrant mix of love and laughter. John and Emily, the charming couple, their two kids, bookish Bella and adventurous Alex, and of course their sprightly spaniel, Sparky. The Johnsons are brimming with anticipation, their hearts fluttering with the thrill of a new beginning. The mansion to them is a symbol of prosperity and joy, a place where they hope to weave countless memories. The echoing halls, the sprawling gardens, the secret nooks and crannies, they all hold a promise of adventure and discovery. Little do they realize they are not just the new owners of an old mansion, but custodians of the stories it holds. Little did they know they were about to uncover secrets buried deep within the mansion's walls. The family quickly settled into their new home, but strange occurrences soon began to disturb their peace. As the nights fell over the old mansion, the symphony of the ordinary was replaced with a chilling orchestra of the bizarre. The silence of the night was punctured by unexplained noises, whispers that seemed to come from the walls themselves, the echoes of laughter that belonged to no one in the house. During the day, objects would inexplicably shift from their original places, only to be found in the most unlikely corners of the house. The antique grandfather clock in the hallway, a relic from the mansion's past, would chime at odd hours, even though its mechanism had rusted years ago. The family, initially dismissing these occurrences as mere figments of their imagination, began to question their sense of reality. The children's toys would often be found scattered in rooms they hadn't visited, their favorite teddy bear watching them with an eerie stillness from the top of the staircase. Even the shadows cast by the mansion seemed to carry a life of their own. They danced and morphed into grotesque shapes that bore an uncanny resemblance to human figures, whispering tales of a time long forgotten. As the family navigated through the labyrinth of their new life, they attempted to rationalize the inexplicable. Maybe the house was just settling into its new inhabitants, they thought. Perhaps the wind was playing tricks on their minds, or could it be that the tales of the mansion's tragic history were seeping into their subconscious, painting their reality with strokes of the supernatural? However, as the days turned into weeks, the strange occurrences escalated in intensity. The whispers grew louder, the shadows darker, and the objects moved with a purpose. The mansion seemed to be waking from a long slumber, its pulse quickening with each passing day. It was as if the spirits of the past were growing restless, seeking to make their presence known, desperate to reveal the mansion's sinister secrets. But as the days went by, the paranormal activities escalated, becoming too real to ignore. Driven by fear and curiosity, the family decided to delve into the mansion's history. The mansion, standing tall and ominous, held within its walls a tale of anguish and despair. The family, desperate to understand the bizarre occurrences, embarked on a journey into the past. As they delved deeper, they unearthed the mansion's dark past. The mansion was once owned by a prosperous businessman who lived there with his wife and two children. But their lives were far from the picture of perfection that one might imagine. The businessman was known for his ruthless practices and was often away, leaving his family alone in the colossal mansion. One fateful night, the wife and the children mysteriously disappeared. The businessman returned to an empty home, no trace of his family to be found. The townsfolk whispered about the family's sudden disappearance, but no one dared to confront the businessman. The mansion was enveloped in an eerie silence, and the businessman lived the rest of his days in solitude, tormented by the loss of his family. As the family pieced together this grim tale, they felt a chill run down their spines. The mansion they now called home was a monument to a family's tragic end. The whispers of the past seemed to echo through the halls, the spirits of the businessman's wife and children lingering, forever trapped within the mansion's walls. The family began to wonder if the spirits they had encountered were those of the disappeared wife and children. Were they trying to communicate? Were they seeking help? Or were they trapped in an endless loop of their final days? The family was left in a state of fear and confusion, the mansion's sinister secrets casting a long, dark shadow over their lives. The family was left with more questions than answers. Who were these spirits, and what did they want? The mansion's sinister secrets had been unveiled, but the mystery was far from solved. The spirits of the past were restless, and the family knew they were now part of a story that was yet to fully unfold. In a twist of fate, the family stumbles upon a hidden room in the mansion, revealing its darkest secret. The stale air hangs heavy, saturated with years of concealed sorrow, as they push open the creaking door. The room, untouched by time, is a grim tableau from a bygone era, holding the remains of a story that was never meant to be uncovered. In the heart of the room, an eerie sight awaits them. They find the skeletal remains of the businessman's wife and children, their existence reduced to nothing more than a chilling secret locked away in this forgotten chamber. The realization hits them like a freight train. The spirits that haunted them were not malevolent but desperate, desperately trying to communicate, to lead them to this harrowing discovery. The family stands in stunned silence, the chilling truth of the mansion's past finally revealed. The spirits were not the villains in this tale of horror, but the victims, trapped in an endless cycle of despair and longing. The spectral whispers and flickering apparitions weren't acts of terror but cries for help, pleas to reveal the truth and free them from their eternal torment. The family, once terrified of their spectral cohabitants, now feels a profound sense of sorrow and sympathy. They understand now that the spirits were not trying to frighten them but to guide them, to lead them to this room, to the remains of a family much like their own, a family that met a tragic and untimely end. This revelation changes everything. The mansion, once a terrifying enigma, takes on a new light. The family realizes that they were chosen, not to be victims of a haunted house, but to be the liberators of the trapped spirits, the key to unlocking the mansion's sinister secret. The mansion's sinister secret was finally revealed. The spirits could now rest, and the mansion, once a house of horrors, could finally become a home. The family, armed with the truth, can now transform this house of horror into a home, a safe haven for the living, and a peaceful resting place for the spirits of the past. With the truth uncovered, the family could finally live in peace. Their decision to remain in the mansion, despite its dark past, was a testament to their resilience. The haunting spirits had dissipated, leaving behind an eerie calm. The family, once tormented by the mansion's past, now found comfort in its hallowed halls. They had faced the mansion's unspeakable horrors, and instead of fleeing, they chose to stay. They chose to respect the mansion's history and honor the memory of its past inhabitants. Their lives moved forward, each day a step further from the terror they'd experienced. The rooms once filled with dread and fear were now filled with laughter and love. Each creak and groan of the old mansion was no longer a threat but a reminder of the story they were now a part of. In the end, the mansion's sinister secret was a cry for help, and the family, its unlikely savior. Thank you for watching, and remember, every house has a story to tell.